not be too concerned with how we look. The image we put across is our own to worry about, is it not? I say not. I say that the image you put out is for others to concern and worry themselves about. I need not worry. How I look, how I appear, it is not my fault that I am who I am. And therefore anyone can deal with what I appear to be. Everyone can place their judgments, their projections, their own unique belief systems upon this image, which they are thus creating in their minds. And so see that this is nothing but a thought. This is nothing but a thought. Whatever you think I am, whatever you think you are, is nothing but a thought. It is not real. It is not reality, and there is no such thing as reality. What is real is beyond any such thing, any such definition. Why is this? Because the very system of definition is construct of mind. Can't think outside of itself. They say think outside the box. You're only thinking outside the box they gave you. You're still in some other form of box because of the very tool which you are using, of the intellect, of the mind. And you, the user of the tool, are also a thought created by the tool to create importance for the tool to ensure its continued use. A survival mechanism, which one can say is now becoming more and more outdated. Not to be saying that it is not useful. When I say outdated, I am referring to knowing oneself, to discovery of one's true nature, we can say, one's natural state. So mind is a tool which is doing its own thing and has nothing to do with you. You have nothing to do with it except for how you involve yourself with it, believing it to be you, believing thus that it is important. You create this false sense of self-importance around the fictitious I character, which is created by thought construct. And really that whole construct is a creation of the nervous system. As, like I said, as a protective mechanism, which overrides the natural state of consciousness, the natural state of you. Nobody can tell you what the natural state of you is. Only you know. I cannot give that to you. And any teacher saying that they can is either delusional themselves or conning you. I cannot give you what you seek. I cannot give you what you already are. Can I even point you in the direction of that? Can I even point you to seeing that for yourself. It seems that life has its own natural rhythm. We arrive where we're meant to arrive, when we're meant to arrive there. Who am I to say? It is assuming of me to even be here, to say anything. Why make this video if it cannot help anybody? And if I know there is nobody to help? Because all processes are happening naturally in the way in which they need to happen. So who am I but to surrender all of it that I place upon myself? I do not need to be the one in charge. I do not need to be the best. I do not need to win in the eyes of the people. I do not need to appear a certain way in the status quo. Any form of teaching that I could possibly bring is false. Any sort of conveyance of truth is distorting that truth in its conveyance. The truth cannot be understood by the mind. And that is its very struggle which keeps it going. The seeking to understand, to know the truth, to finally get it. Then I will be at peace. Do you see what is acting through you? What distorted images come to mind? What tricks the mind plays to convince you to not trust? You must see in yourself that there is no self here. You must see that the self you have created is just that. Nothing to hang on to. And the very hanging on to it is what causes the suffering. The very belief that it's even something worth hanging on to. The obsession. The obsession with the elusive persona. And the self-righteousness of the spiritual search. Of somehow now one's persona is more advanced. One's persona is ahead, one's persona is better, more pure. The mind will play to purify the mind game with you into eternity. How will you possibly transcend when what you are using to transcend is the very thing blocking transcendence? You are trying to improve your ego still. Anything I do from that place is destined to fail. If I'm seeking spiritually, if I'm seeking the truth, I'm seeking the information, the answers to the questions that we all ask, that all humanity has asked for millennia. I must see that this is a vain effort. Those who found this, it was not through their thinking. It was the being fed up enough. And even that, people get fed up all the time. Perhaps not fed up enough. You have to really be fed up enough to want to see through the instrument you've been using. To realize when it comes to these deep questions, when it comes to this spiritual understanding, you will not succeed using this tool. And then you have to see that everything you know about the so-called spiritual journey, enlightenment, awakening, exists within you as knowledge in the intellect as well. So there's this continuous outsourcing of one's innate power and intelligence onto other figures and teachings and beliefs to steady the mind in. And then the experience is that the mind is steadied in the teaching, therefore I'm living the teaching. But truthfully, nobody is living. You are in a dead world, a graveyard, it's been called, when you are living the teaching in your mind. You may say, okay, I'm living it in my body, in the world, but it's still just an idea, it's still just a belief that you are riding on, that you are trusting in, that you're having faith in. And people have faith in science, people have faith in spirituality, people have faith in religions. All of these, we must see, are belief systems in which faith is being put in other people and what they have said. So when it comes to it, are you really living the teaching? Or are you just following an idea? How do you actually live the teaching? Can we ask this? How do you actually live the teaching? By dropping it all. Dropping the mind which learned the teaching. Dropping the person who thinks he has this mind. Jump off the moving car. And then, of course, this question of, can anybody make this happen? It would appear, looking through the linear cause and effect, rational mind view, that maybe a certain practice, a certain piece of information, being around the presence of a certain enlightened being, that these things trigger enlightenment to happen. We have to understand these are all unique stories, and that all of us are unique. No two of us are the same. No two of our paths are the same. Your journey of awakening is not the same as mine or anybody else's. Nobody can truly advise you but you. You have to stand on your own 2 feet and face this thing head on. Nobody can help you but yourself. Nothing that anybody says will change it. It's up to you. It's about where you placing your power and attention now. If it's on something external, you tell me, you give me the answers. You do the work for me. We're so used to this now in this age of the technology and convenience and this privilege. It's all being done for us, so many things. We want more. All right, make my art for me now, AI. Make my music for me now, my beats. Make my memes for me now. Write my emails for me now. This is how people are using these tools. And I'm not criticizing. I'm not judging. I'm observing. I will just ask you, is it making you more of anything? Making you more money, maybe? This is good. Money is good in this world. Is it making you smarter? Is it making you more capable? Or is it making you more reliant, conditioned? Are you putting your faith more in external than on the intelligence in you? On the supercomputer that is this organism, which is living. And yet you are so caught up in your mind about it that you refuse to actually live. And the you that longs to feel what it means to actually live is the very thing in the way. And so it is the way. It is the way. What's in the way is the way. What does this mean in this context? You have to give up this search. Be satisfied. Like a great lion whose belly is full after having a great meal, catching his prey, who lays and rests in the sun and knows that all is taken care of, that he is set until his next meal. This is how I want you to live right now. To recognize that you are full. And you are in the light. And all you need to do is allow your food to digest. You've consumed so much, my friend. You have got all the answers you need. You've listened to enough videos and teachers. Have you not? You've suffered enough, have you not? Overall, the lifetimes You are full. You're full. You need to digest. You need to lay and digest. And let the light percolate through you. Let it pierce through all of you. You don't need to be this hungry lion anymore. Searching for your teacher, for the answer. Somebody, make it clear. This mind will always be seeking more information before it feels comfortable with this decision. Before you take the leap to go beyond it, you want to be sure. You want to be sure that the waves will stop crashing when you take the plunge down deep. That it's all going to be okay. That you can leave the world of thought. What will happen if I am not here thinking? The world will fall apart. This is what we think. This is your projection. This is your lack of faith in the intelligence that you are, which has figured it out this whole time, got you this far. Nobody else, only you could do it. Only you could have walked these shoes. And only you can walk what is to come. So do you see now? It's up to you. And when it comes to what we could call the completion of this realization, there's no telling what may catalyze it for you. And this is what I wanted to get to before. All unique paths. So you're thinking, oh, I'm going to do these Kundalini exercises and breathing, yoga practice. I'm going to do the Kriyas. I'm going to meditate every day. Ayahuasca ceremony. If I do enough Bufo, if I do enough DMT, if I do enough mushrooms, if I pray to Lord Jesus Christ and repent enough, then this liberation is going to occur. I'm going to purify and gradually transcend the levels, and I will reach the great goal. There is no reaching the great goal for the one seeking. I'm sorry to say, I'm sorry to burst that bubble today if you've never heard that. It's not for that. It's not something that can be touched by that tool. That tool is very useful for learning and operating things in the world, but it doesn't have the answers to the deep questions, to what causes the existential dread It is the source of the existential dread, is that tool of mind. So what I'm saying is, if you are following these preconditioned, pre-mapped out paths, which are passed on as a construct from previous generations, and you think that you know your path because of what you've learned and discovered through this intake of knowledge, you don't know your path. Your path is unique. It's never happened. The way it happens for you has never happened yet, in a linear sense. Because truly you already are free. There's nothing to do, nowhere to go, nothing to be, nothing you can do to, again, attain what you already are. Any attainment of what you already are must be some sort of illusion, because you already are it. So trust in the uniqueness of your path. Trust in the intelligence working through you, that it knows what to do. You know what to do. I know what to do. I know what to do. Busy telling ourselves, I don't know, I must outsource to this presence, to this God self, to this higher self, to this quantum self, to this spiritual teacher, to this medium, to this psychic. They will have the answers. You don't need answers. You need to stop seeking answers. You need to free yourself of your endless search for these answers. So you've been taught that you're supposed to find the answer to the answers. Here's the funny thing. You don't even exist without the question. You as the fictitious entity of mind, construct, persona, personality, the thinker of the thoughts, does not exist without the thoughts. Do you exist as your persona when you're not thinking? Think about it. When you are asleep, in deep sleep, are you the person? You, the person, are gone. You are just existing. You are free of all your mental struggle and problems. None of it is affecting you then. Totally in a silent peace that is untouched. We put such importance on our thoughts. We think our thoughts are everything. But your thoughts are nothing. You, as this person having the experience, only exist with each experience. You only exist. The questioner only exists when there's a question. You drop all questions, what is left? I ask you. So see with definitude that your path is unlike any other. There's no telling what will catalyze awakening for you. There's no telling what will catalyze the ending of all seeking, the search. the end of the separate thinker who is thinking. As I've heard it said, thinking is wanting. As long as you are thinking, you are wanting something other than what you are already. Refusing to be with the beauty of what is. You disregard what is real and alive for something that is dead and gone and never really existed. Words are a medium of communication. And the objects which words describe are not separate from the word. Because before you have the ability to distinguish things as separate, as in when you are a baby, you do not see separate things. You see the world as it is, without words, and therefore without objects, without separate objects. With no words, there are no separate objects. It is only once you learn through the knowledge of the mental construct how to see the world through the eyes of those who have come before that you are distinguishing these separate objects with these words, creating this separation from the get-go. There's no way to reverse this. There's nothing you can do to reverse this. I'm not saying to start looking at objects and say, I don't know what that is. I don't know what that is. That's nothing. It's not a chair. That's not a table. That's not the sky. This neti, right? Or this A Course in Miracles. Again, not judging, not criticizing, not even saying not to do this. I'm not advising you of anything. This is purely what is coming through as a transmission, with no knowledge on my part of what is to be said until it is said. I do not know what I'm saying. There is saying, there is the experience of listening, of witnessing, of observing here. Even what my body is doing, I am not controlling this. Merely I'm witnessing. I recognize this is maybe disconcerting or confusing for some. It may seem that I'm totally insane, or it's all an act. I am a fraud. I don't know what I'm saying. I've already said that. I do not know what I'm saying, because I am not the one saying it. It is being said through this organism. This organism being a part of the whole, being a speaker box for the whole. I speak for the trees, like the Lorax. I speak for the birds and all the critters that crawl. I speak for the earth. I speak for what is alive and real. And I suppose we could say I speak out against what is dead and was never real, therefore cannot even die. You cannot kill what has never lived. So shall we say this is complete? There's always more to say. It is your questions, it is your reflections, it is your shares, which impute the computations into this computer so that I can respond accordingly. I respond to the stimuli. And I am not the one responding. I, as a term being used here to create some form of clarity and cohesion to the listener, to understand that there is an experience, rather there is a witnessing of experience, and that all of this is flowing in the way that it wants to flow. And even saying it or wants is a concession to the witnessing. None of it can really make sense to the mind, and may that be the most important lesson. Teachless teaching. Because any information I tell you will confuse you, will confuse your mind even more. This whole thing may confuse you even more. And I would argue that perhaps that is a good thing, because like I said, it is not until you are fed up enough with the instrument that you may even be open to being thrown off the vehicle, ejector seat, launched off this moving vehicle of mind. Out of the labyrinth of mind, you step out of it rather than trying to find your way through it. Again, I don't know if this is even something one can consciously choose. It would appear that way in some instances, but one also knows that nothing is what it appears. I am just a speaker box reflecting what it has received. Than anything else that is needed. Because love always goes where it is needed. May I, through this surrender to love, be brought and made to do what is needed through love. Thank you.